All right, there we go. Let's go. There we are. We're going live again, Rob. Let's try this for a second time.
Take two.
Take two. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how this is giving me a problem. You swear this was my first time doing a YouTube on my cell phone. For some reason, it keeps knocking out the microphone.
Wow.
I can see you. I can hear you guys. It just will not. So anyway, I got to figure that problem out. And I also figured out that we need what do you call it? Headphones, wired ones. But here, I want you to see this. This is another ferry that we have here. It's what's the name? I can't even see the name of it. But it's a ferry that goes out to that island. That's not Vancouver Island. That's called Texada Island. It's habited. There's people. It goes all the way down that way. Very nice out there. But yeah,
So if I
that's the
wanted,
ferry there.
if
Huh?
I wanted, if I wanted to go to Nanaimo,
So, okay, so for us to go to Nanaimo, see that, can you see way off in the distance? There's another big boat in the water, not the sailboat, but the other one out there.
that one just behind the island.
Yeah. So that's the one that's going over Vancouver. Straight ahead is Vancouver Island, and then that island right there is Texada Island, and then there's another island over there that's called Hirewood Island. But if you wanted to go to Nanaimo, yeah, you take that ferry, which is an hour and 20 minutes, crossed over to Vancouver Island. And then Nanaimo is roughly, I'm going to say within that distance, but on the far Vancouver Island, because right here, there's two islands that you can see straight ahead.
Yep.
This is Texada here. And then way behind that, which is Vancouver Island, there's the Georgia Strait goes down there, which all the cruise ships going up to Alaska on the inside passage goes by here, then goes up to Alaska or comes back down to Vancouver. Or if you're doing the Seattle one, it goes on the other side of Vancouver Island. Rougher seas out there. But yeah,
Okay.
this is our small little Powell River. I love coming here, actually. I love sailboats. Oh, wow. Didn't see that. There's people on the boat there. Nice sailboat. I wonder if I can make some friends here, Rob. Rob, I actually did 4 years in Sea Cadets. And
Yeah, you're saying that.
hold on.
We will be right back.
Hello?
Yep.
That is so sensitive. I touched the screen by accident and it friggin' automatically removes the feed. That is so crazy. Is there anybody watching the feed right now, Rob? Do you know? I can't tell. I can't see nothing.
I see no one in the chat. If you're watching, say hello in the chat.
Yeah, probably not. Everybody left anyway. That's okay. So yeah, I did 4 years in Sea Cadets. Actually, I wonder if I can go over here. How's the wind for the noise? I bet it's crazy. Yeah, there's nobody coming in, so I'm going to end it anyway, Rob. I thought, hey, I got to hang out with you down here.
Yep, at least.
You can come out for a visit, Rob. It's nice here.
Yep.
You get to see all the orcas and the humpback whales going through here sometimes.
Yep. No. On my bucket list, I also have. I would love to do the via train.
Do the via train all the way up to Vancouver.
All the way to Vancouver.
Yep.
And then maybe spend a little bit of time in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Then and then I'm thinking of maybe crossing over to California.
Yeah, they have the train that goes down there.
Yeah, cross over to California.
Yeah.
And then take the.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. And then take the Amtrak all the way back down to the east side. and then either find a way maybe up to like New York, and then I know there's a train from New York into Toronto, or there was, or just fly back in.
That sounds like a retirement trip.
But it sounds like a long. It's going to take about. I'm estimating it's going to take about 2 weeks.
Well, you know it can be done because Nick P.
Say again?
Nick P. He did a Cross America
Yeah.
train trip.
I think he did it in 32, 33 days.
There you go, Rob. When you get 33 days off?
When I retire, and then some more.
And you're what, 34?
Almost.
That's another 30 years, Rob. see, that's the thing. I really think we all should do the what a lot of kids do. They'll get out of school, go do some traveling, spend a couple of years traveling, then come back and do your work thing for, however many years. Then I say retire earlier. I think we should be retiring earlier so we can enjoy the rest of our lives, because once you get into your 50s, then, it's not that you can't be healthy at 50s, but a lot of us in our 50s tend to, we start having health issues, and then it affects our travel, right? And then so I would say, roughly 60, at 60, because my father-in-law, my wife's mom's boyfriend, he's 60 something years old, and he just retired before 65, right? But he did 30 years with a company, right? So that's the way I see it should be, right? Not this, some of them are even talking here in Canada to retire in 70s. Like, what? No. I think if we could, we have our RSPs and all those kinds of things. We put in our time throughout our lives, give us the chance to, retire early and go out and enjoy retirement, Oh, look who it is. Hello, gentlemen. This would be our wonderful Najuma Brown. Hi, Najuma.
Hello, Najuma.
How is it in New York? Actually, I just wrote another long email to somebody else.
It's quite funny. I mentioned about New York, and sure enough, New York pops into the chat.
Of course. There's some good vibes going on with this New York thing. I think Najuma, I have a feeling that someday you're going to get to meet one of us in New York. Because, Rob mentioned New York there about the train. He wanted to go there. I also want to go to New York. And then I was just speaking to some people last night about New York.
I think her ears were ringing.
That's what I think so too. Yeah. I'm still thinking about that New York. Now, I told you about the other carnival doing the New England route, which is a 7-day one.
Yep.
And that one's actually right out of New York. That would be a really cool bucket list. Standing on the bow of a ship, not necessarily like the Titanic, but standing on the bow of the ship and having a video of us passing the Statue of Liberty. That would be so freaking cool.
Oh.
I've seen so many movies with people, like on ships, yeah, I think that would be so cool.
Yes, it would be.
Now, have you been to New York, Rob?
Just pass through.
Pass through? Okay. Yeah, the closest I got to New York was Boston. Najuma knows that. So yeah, we're all gonna come crash at your house, Najuma. So that the cruise out of either New Jersey or New York, yeah, they were all in September, which is Ananda's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, are you okay? Are you getting tired? Do you you seem like
it's been a long day.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Not for me. It's only 5:40 here.
Well, I'm like 3+ hours ahead of you.
Yeah, but I still wake up the same time you do every morning. No, I don't. No, I'm awake. I'm awake at 5:30 every morning.
Yeah, I'm long at work by then.
See, I gotta remember this camera like this. I'd rather. Where is it? Where's my GoPro? My GoPro's here too. I brought all my camera stuff here. There's my GoPro. See, I got my GoPro. I'd rather be talking with that, and I got to figure out how to go live with that. Then I was taking some my long lens, and I was also going to use this. Oh, too many wires. I was also going to use this because of the wind, but I'm wondering how the wind noise is coming across this. Can you hear any wind?
No.
Really? Wow. Najuma, now it's my turn to ask you, when are you coming out here? Here, Najuma, check this out. Wouldn't you like to come out and check out this? Look at all that. Mountains, ocean, that's the Pacific Ocean, but Vancouver Island straight ahead, which is an hour and 20 minutes away. Oh, Najuma, I don't know if you heard, but straight ahead is the Strait of Georgia, and that's where, or the Inside Passage, as they would say. And so if you're taking a cruise out of Vancouver up to Alaska, you would go through here and up through the Inside Passage way up that way. Or if you're taking from Seattle up to Alaska, it would be on the other side of Vancouver Island, which is straight ahead, but on the other side of the island. I want to try them both. I want to see what it says. Pero DJs, we're actually talking about maybe meeting up with them down in Victoria because they'll be doing a back-to-back, up and then back. And so we said, yeah, we might meet them in Victoria, although it's only a 4-hour stop. But, yeah. So would you like to let me let you go, Rob? You look really tired.
Yep, I will catch you in the next live.
Okay, so which is tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's the live giveaway. You don't have to be there, Rob. But I will be doing.
We mean I don't I have to be there if I win?
Well, if you want to have a chance to win, yeah, you got to be there.
Well, of course.
Okay, so that'll be Wednesday, June 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern, and you have to be there to qualify for the draw.
Okay.
And you got both you guys have already signed up for it. So, and then I'm going live Thursday at, give me a minute. 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, have a good night, brother.
Yep, have a good night.
Take her easy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Oh, there's Nick. I'll talk to Nick. You have a good one, Rob.
Yep. Okay. Bye.
Hey, how's it going, Nick? Let me see. Hey, we were just talking about you, Nick. Rob was saying how he wants to take a train all across Canada here and then take it down to California and then take the Amtrak. Well, actually take the Amtrak from Vancouver all the way down to California and then across over to New York. Yeah, I see that, Nick. You're like the superhero of mail carriers. And then didn't you say you moved? You were moving closer to Darien and stuff. I think that's the last time I heard something from you. How you doing? How's the hand? I seen you had a little brace on your hand there. You hurt yourself. Is that getting better? Oh, you haven't moved yet. Okay, yeah, but you're still a mail carrier. Yeah, my wife's my wife's aunt here. She actually moved, but she used to be a supervisor at our local post office here. saying night. Oh, he's saying his thumb is improving. Yeah. So what really happened, Nick? I don't remember. I just so you know, I do see a lot of content out there, but I don't remember everything. So, yeah, let me know. And while I'm at it here, since I'm now I finally gotten this going here and it's working properly and it died. This is my second go at trying to go live. I just wanted to update everybody. You haven't seen me on here. Oh, sure. Yeah, I can let you drop a link. I might just give me a sec. I'm not used to going live on a phone, Nick. So just give me 1 sec how to do this. Invite a guest. Do this like this. Here. Then I'm going to go like, how do I do this? Can I comment in the chat? No. How do I comment in a chat? Anybody know how to do this? I'm not a professional. I'm just new at this part. So, yeah, how do I invite? Oh, wait, post a comment. There it is. Maybe. Let's see if that will work. Oh, there. That's how you do it. Look at that. Let's see if that works, Nick. Learn something new every day. Oh, make sure your hair's all pretty, Nick. Gotta brush your hair, make it all look pretty before you go live. You can come up too, Najuma, if you want, if that can work. Oh, there's somebody. Oh, there he is. Add to stream.
How do I sound? Hey! Laptop I just got 2 days ago.
You get a brand new. What'd you get?
It's I don't know how you pronounce it. It's Lenovo. Then
a Lenovo. That was actually my very first brand new laptop I ever bought with a Lenovo. Yeah. Not a bad laptop.
Yeah, but no, I only have to wear this for like another week. I should be fine on the 28th.
So what fully happened? I don't fully remember.
I slipped off somebody's front doorstep. I was turning too quickly, and their concrete front doorstep was uneven. Yeah, and I lost my balance, and all my weight landed on my left thumb.
Ooh!
And luckily, about a week ago, right now, I was at the Mayo Clinic Hospital in Rochester, Minnesota, Larry. And luckily, there was nothing broken in the hand.
Good job, man. Because that's important for you. You got to be able to put the mail in the mail slots properly, man. Right?
But I'm lucky though. It's my left hand. It's not my right hand.
Oh, see, that's the same thing. I'm right-handed. That's my important hand. Like, although I did actually injure that back in the 80s. I was a bad boy and. Somebody checked me in floor hockey up against the wall and it messed up my thumb. Yeah. But I'm fine now.
Yeah, I'm lucky. It took 7 hours at the freaking hospital to find out. I got there about 5:30. I didn't walk out till 12:30 to find out there was no broken bones in my hand, wrist, arm, nothing.
7 hours at a hospital?
7 hours at the hospital.
And you said Rochester, Minnesota. So I only know Rochester, New York. So Rochester, is that like a small town or?
It's the third biggest city in the state. It's about 120,000 people. And Larry, have you ever heard of, they have a world famous hospital there called the Mayo Clinic.
Oh, the Mayo. Is that where the Mayo Clinic is?
Yeah, that's where the Mayo Clinic's from, is Rochester, Minnesota.
Oh, yes. I do know the Mayo Clinic, and I won't say fully on what I did there, but I ended up messaging them. Somebody needed some help, and they wouldn't help this person, and I gave them a few choice words. Now, nothing against the hospital. Like, they do amazing work. Like, that's not what I was.
They're like Jesus there, not, that they do miracles that other hospitals can't do.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. And I don't want that to come across that way. It's just this situation here, and they didn't help this person, and I got a little passionate about it, and sent them an email. But yes, Mayo Clinic. Yeah, of course I've heard of the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah.
same with St. Jude's.
Rob was saying before I came up that he was wanting to do a train across America. Right now,
Yes.
you can't do the train from Vancouver down to Seattle because that hasn't returned yet.
Oh, it hasn't returned yet. Okay.
Hasn't returned yet. It's supposed to, but who knows when that happens.
Hey, Nick, hey, maybe you can come out here one day and we can do it down to California or something.
I wish. Right now, I have to save all my time this year for moving to Texas because I don't know.
No, I hear you.
Happen.
So you're gonna you can transfer your job?
Yeah, I've applied. I'm actually just past the 6-month mark. I have to wait. They don't tell me anything. They just say, "Here, they'll call me when it's time and say, "Are you ready to go?" It's like, "Yeah," and then it's off I go.
Are you like a door-to-door postman or like you're a route delivery? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And something, Larry, too, to keep in mind, Canada, they privatized their post office. America, it's still technically part of the government.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Canadian post office is independent of the government.
I didn't know
privatized.
That. Or Nick, sorry. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I actually could have gone to work here. Like I'm on disability, long-term disability. And so, but I could still do that, but it's not my thing. That's why I get into travel and stuff like this in YouTube. It's because it's hard for me to do all that kind of work. I used to work warehouses. I used to unload and load shipping containers, 40, 50, 60-pound boxes, right? So I just can't do any of that kind of work anymore. I miss working. I really do, man. A lot of people say
have exploded. I can't work normally until the 29th because of this. I'm on light duty. But once I get back to work on the 29th, I'll be hitting it hard, paying off more things. And I hope I'm able to accept a Texas transfer in the fall. Because once something comes through, they give 90 days. I get 10 days to accept, and then it's 90 days to figure out when exactly to move from Minnesota down to Texas.
So why the choice from freezing cold, snowy, icy weather to very hot and sometimes icy, snowy cold?
Well, I got family and friends down there. I love Texas. I'm born and raised Minnesota. I need to go.
Yeah. I totally, I am originally from the East Coast of Canada. I've been out West Coast here since 2005. I don't miss, I went back in 2012 for my sister's funeral and I walked around my town and it's like, there's nothing there for me. Like I'm a free loving person. I love to explore, right? You know what I mean?
Oh, heck yeah.
Got to get out and explore. And so, yeah, I've been out here. I actually need to get down to see Texas.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it down there. I love the culture, and I love, I'm sure you may have seen videos on that Buc-ee's.
Oh, I'm seeing them every day. Somebody just shared they have their own sneakers now.
I haven't seen that, but I did see there's a guy I follow on Facebook that's his name's Craig Clark, and he does these funny reaction videos. He did a short video where he I forget what it's one of the Willy Wonka songs like World of Imagination.
Oompa, oompa,
no,
oompa,
like a World of Imagination.
Oh yes, I know that song. Yeah.
So
I want to sing.
Yeah, he's walking past a gas pump and you see behind him it says Buc-ee's. And then it turns around, he shows the front of the store. Then it shows him back home. He's wearing the beaver suit they sell.
Yeah, I actually love that suit. I follow another channel, a very well-known channel, Karen and Nate, and they did a video of them visiting a Buc-ee's, and yes, Nate wore the Buc-ee's bear suit or beaver suit.
Beaver suit.
It's hilarious. So that sounds
right. No, it's been fun, Larry. I got to meet. You know who Vizos are, right?
Oh yes, Amanda, and her daughter,
Ashley. I got to meet both of them.
Yes. So it was just them, not Raphael there.
No, Raphael doesn't have the PTO to be here, so it was just Amanda and Ashley flew from Tulsa down to Dallas, and then Dallas up to Minneapolis, and I met them at their hotel about 5 miles south of the airport. Raphael DM'd me it. So I met them.
I did see that. Yeah. I did see that.
Yeah, I sent them with some Minnesota made stuff that Rafi's going to open on his live stream tomorrow.
Nice. I actually have 2 layovers in Houston, actually. Because I don't know if you remember, we're going on a group cruise in October.
I am. On a group cruise in October, yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, my route is going down. It is from Vancouver to Houston, Houston to Miami, and then coming back. It's Fort Lauderdale to Houston, Houston to Denver, and then Denver to Vancouver.
You're taking the
So
scenic route.
yeah, I don't mind. I love flying, man. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I'm actually looking for a long layover so I can get to go to what do you call it? Lounge. I've never experienced an airport lounge, which I would love to do.
Yeah.
Just give me a sec.
Denver's the biggest airport in America, where size wise.
Is it really? I've been there once, or no, so twice, because my kids live in New Mexico, and the first time I went to visit them was in 2011. I flew Frontier Airlines. It was from Vancouver to Seattle to Denver, Denver to Albuquerque, and back.
Yeah. Hey,
there's Blaine there. Hi, Blaine. Welcome in, Blaine.
So how's it coming through, Larry, on my new laptop?
It's looking great, man.
Sweet.
Yeah, you're going to be a professional now.
I'd hope so for $1,200 USD.
Which is basically what I paid Canadian for mine. Mine's what is mine? Mine is a Dell G5 5500 or whatever. It's a gaming laptop, but it's still I use it to Premiere Pro. And it still lags and stuff. It's still not the greatest. It's got 6 gig video card in it. But hey, $1,500. That was the cheapest I could get in that range. You know what I mean? Without going over
2 or 3 times what I paid for this. It's like, no, thank you.
No, and that's the thing with video editing. If you really want to get into really like high end content, like if you get the Sony A7 III, high-end $3,000 cameras, like a lot of the high-end the top YouTube channels there, the laptops we got won't work. You need to get a great laptop in, right? So and that's when you're getting up into $2,000 and $3,000 for your laptops, right?
Yeah, it's like no thank you, I'm good with $1,200. This one works just fine.
Yeah, and it's doing it. The last couple videos, not this last one that I just put out today. I put 2 out today. I tried out the 4K. I think I'm just going to stick with the 1080. That's all I need. It's just easier to upload, and
the file way too dang huge.
Yeah, that's right. And it takes forever and ever and ever to render it, and like, nah.
Yeah.
So when you get back, or when you get down to Texas, you're going to start your own, like, going live and stuff?
I don't know. I haven't technically posted. I turned all of my videos to private. I think I have one that's public.
Don't delete them.
I haven't deleted them. I haven't deleted them.
No, because if you do that, then it will hurt you in the future. But if you keep them private, it'll stay, like, you know what I mean? Like, even if you have this dud, I tried earlier to do a live, I won't delete it. I'll keep it private, but I won't delete it. Just because the algorithm don't like.
I'm not deleting. I thought about it, but it's like, no. I just have had a lot of mental, breakdown earlier this year, and I'm fine now.
I am actually going. That's what I was just about to talk about, Nick. About me, I'm going through andropause, which is men's menopause. Another nickname for it, it's called grumpy old man syndrome. Women, they have that time of the month and they get cranky and stuff. It's exactly the same thing. And so I'm going through a lot of that. And so I've been creating because like my channel is all about disabilities and stuff, right? So I'm throwing in my ADHD stuff, my borderline personality stuff. And that's just to create a picture of who we are. It's not that I'm trying to get sympathy or anything, because I've dealt with it all my life. I'm 50. But it's just to create a picture of who I am, and then going forward, then it's to inspire those that may have ADHD, that are afraid to travel and stuff like that. That's what my channel's all about. But lately, my hormones have been way out of freaking whack. Like I can snap in an instant, and I don't want to bring it on my channel. And today, for some reason, I managed to get some good energy up today, and I managed to get 2 videos plus a third one that's almost ready to be rendered already, right?
You gotta keep fighting at it, Larry. Like me,
Gotta
I've
keep doing
given
it,
up
man.
where I don't post everything anymore. Like I've done 2 trips this year that have been pretty much completely social media free.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed the heck out of it. I did a 5,800-mile trip from Minnesota to Glacier Park to Portland, down to Los Angeles, Kansas City, Chicago, back to Minnesota. And then I flew from Minnesota down to Dallas. And I drove.
You're not talking about your train trip.
Yeah, that first one was a train trip.
Yeah, I remember seeing the train trip part.
Yeah, and then I did back in February. I flew from Minneapolis down to DFW in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
And then I drove from Dallas down to Austin, Austin down to San Antonio over to Houston, over to Baton Rouge.
Wow.
In Baton Rouge, I met Eric B.
Yeah.
And then in Baton Rouge, I went up to Hot Springs, Arkansas. And I also went to Monroe, Louisiana. Saw another YouTube channel called The Traveling Gilberts. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
I know them.
Yeah, whoever the hell they are.
Yeah. That's right. You posted.
Yeah, that's their whole bit they started. It's how they got more notoriety. It's like whoever the hell they are.
Yeah, whoever they are, yeah.
I went to a rock concert, Larry, in Little Rock, so I could say I went to a Little Rock concert.
Oh, a Little Rock concert. Nice.
Yeah,
was it any known rock group or?
It's a Christian rock band called Red that I've been following for like 15 to 18 years. Their biggest hit is called Breathe Into Me.
Don't know that one. The only Christian rock groups that I'm familiar with was, and now they're no longer. But this person, the lead singer, went to he's the, how do I say it? His name's Mark Martell. Have you heard of him?
Not a fan.
Okay, so the name of the Christian rock group was called Down Here. The lead singer is called Mark Martell, and he was on Ellen DeGeneres' show because he was the voice for the Queen Freddie Mercury movie.
Yeah,
he was the voice. He was part of that.
They put him in because the actor couldn't do it, but they used him.
Yeah, for the voice, because his voice. Oh, it's all over YouTube, and I love this guy. And I actually met them in Vancouver because they did a show in Vancouver, and I knew I met the bassist because he was friends with one of my friends, and that's the only Christian rock group that I really know. Like, of course, I know Christian music and stuff, but the rock.
It's not like they're not like singing Hallelujah in their songs.
Yeah,
but they're playing in the bass of their lyrics.
Oh, of course, yeah. I love Christian music. I actually love all music. I'm a music lover, right? You know, so I used to sing in our church here locally until something happened there. But I haven't been to church in since 2017. So what's that? That's 5 years I've been in the church.
Yeah, me, I'm trying to make it through since I can't work really right now. I only work part of the day, and then they give me my sick time for the rest for 10 more days. But
is it unionized mail thing down
union.
there?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
because here we just in British Columbia, the province that I live in, just this year they made it mandatory that you get, I think it's 5 paid sick days. But prior to that, if you were in a union, they would make that work. But if
I get
only
like
if you were in
every 80 hours, I get like 4. I get a half a day, so I get
which is basically what I got when I was in a union.
Yeah. So I'm fine. It's not going to hurt me much. I put together routes for other people, and I'll be back to working next Wednesday.
Are you enjoying it?
Not really. I really want to just go back to normal, but I got to do what the doctor told me to do with this.
No, totally. It's like me. Like I said, I haven't been to work and since 2017. A lot of people say, I can't wait for retirement. It is good if you have like a healthy body and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting at home going nuts. I need to get out of this town, like you're saying, man. It's I love it here. Like, it's not bad. Like look here.
It's beautiful.
It's heavenly here.
Yeah.
Mountains and ocean and snow and
reminds me of the views I had when I was in Vancouver back in April 2018.
Oh, that's right. You were out here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's beautiful here. It's just in this town because of all the craziness going on.
Yeah.
It's hasn't. Now I did go on my first cruise in March, which was awesome, but I ended up
Where was that out
catching.
of?
It was out of Long Beach,
Okay.
and I ended up catching, and my wife catching some nasty stuff, and ended up spending 6 days in the hospital. It was really
What was
scary.
it or was it something else?
Oh, it was it. And actually, on my way back, okay, so the cruise ended on Saturday. I had to spend a night in Los Angeles because we had to pre-test to come back to Canada. So I spent the night in Los Angeles, and that night, before I like after the cruise that night, I took a test to get back into Canada. It was negative. Well, just before I went to sleep, I started to feel tickle in my throat. But I, you don't want to jump to conclusions right away. No. So the next day, woke up, still a little ticklish, but you know what? I was going to the airport anyway. But I always wore my mask. Doesn't matter anywhere. Like I'm so used to living in a small town, I'm traveling. I wanted to wear my mask. So I wore my mask. So got to the hospital early, long day there, didn't do it. Come home, flew into Vancouver. Then I had to spend another night in Vancouver because I had to catch a float plane back to Powell River the next day. Well, I was on my way to catch the plane early in the morning, and we got in a car accident.
Oh,
and my sister, what it was is we came to a stop sign, but the road going like to the right and left, it had a flashing light, but you can tell it was red. The cars were stopped. So we got there, we decided to go through, but it was too late. The light turned green, and both cars started, and they smashed into the side of us. I'm the one that got the worst of it because I was the passenger and what are they called?
Driver?
The bags, airbags.
Airbags, yeah.
Went off and bruised my arm and stuff. We ended up going to the hospital. I got my wife to reschedule my flight. But ironically, that flight was already canceled anyway. So I had to spend another night in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. And then I flew back home the next day, and I tested, and it turned out positive. And then a couple days later, Ananda tested positive, and it was crazy.
At least you're back home in Canada.
I'm back home in Canada, and I didn't have to use my hi Paul. I didn't have to use my my insurance. Now that's a crazy thing that happened to me too. Is I had travel insurance, but sadly I gave the wrong dates. I didn't add an extra day for the travel from Vancouver to Powell River.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it was canceled.
Yeah.
So that night I spent a night at the what do you call it, Pan Pacific Hotel, which is right at the Vancouver cruise port. It was $250 a night, which is a great deal for this room. It's during cruise season, this is an $800 or $900 a night room that I booked for $250. Anyway, so I thought, hey, I'll splurge because they're going to give me it back on my insurance, but it turns out that I didn't have enough insurance for that extra day.
Crazy.
So I lost out.
Right. That's all that matters.
But it was an adventure. See, that's what travel's all about. Things mess us up, but you got these stories to tell about. But
heck yeah, the delays make for the best stories. Like my only time in Vancouver, Larry, I took the train up from Seattle into Pacific Central, and I stayed at there's a High hostel in downtown Vancouver.
Yeah, I stayed there before.
I stayed there because I wanted to be cheap.
Yeah. Well, actually, what is it? One of the last times I stayed down Vancouver was the Samsung across the street from the High, because I also stayed at the High before, but the Samsung, because they had pods, which was freaking cool. That was in 2018. So pods, P-O-D, like Japanese.
I was kidding, P-O-D.
Well, hey, it's legal in Canada.
I know. I'm just teasing you, Larry.
Pot. We don't react to the talking about pot anymore.
No. I know.
Hey, you know what? There was tons of pot there because it was a young, young crowd there. But I went to use it for this cruise in March, but I guess they don't have the pods anymore, and that was sad. I wanted a pod.
Yeah,
but
Vancouver was my first experience outside of America, and a Canadian I met when I was in Ireland got offended, and you can understand this, Larry. America and Canada, we're so dang similar. It's not really that different going across the border. Things are different, metric and imperial. There are the differences, but it's pretty much.
I have kids that live in America who are also Canadian, and I talk to you guys all the time. There really is no I don't. It doesn't. Other than you, okay, you guys say Fahrenheit and we'll say Celsius, but I find myself just talking in Fahrenheit all the time. What do you mean? What's that?
I know, right? And out of all the states, Larry, everyone thinks Minnesota talks the most like Canadians, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you're pretty close. You're pretty close.
Because we're like, our western edge is Winnipeg, and our eastern edge is Thunder Bay.
Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Thunder Bay, eh?
Yeah, Winnipeg.
I've been in through I've been all across Canada. I haven't been to Newfoundland, and I've never been to Cape Breton Island, which is far east, and I've never been up north, but I've been all across Canada, Greyhound, flying, driven. Yeah. I already know our country. Beautiful. And I really want to experience America as well.
Oh yeah, I want to take the train from Winnipeg up to Churchill when it's polar bear season, when they're migrating. And
that's scary.
I'll be fine with doing one of those tours with the the people that do it with the guns that don't hurt the bear. But but they'll get you up close and personal.
Well, we don't have polar bears here, but we do have grizzlies and black bear. Actually, there was a black bear walking behind our house I think a day or two ago.
What I found funny is I was reminded when I was in Glacier Park about a month ago, black bears aren't always black and grizzlies aren't always gray. You can tell by the hump. The hump and black bears look like their face got sucked by a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, I've chased them before, and I'm not talking like in a bad sense. It's like I was going through this back road. It was a local lake here, and I was going through. And when I was going in, it's like, oh, there's a bear, but I never caught. I wanted to get a video of him. Yeah. So coming out, I thought, okay, maybe I'll catch it. And 2 other times coming out, I did, but I had to speed up because he took off running, and I wanted to get that video.
Yeah, I didn't see any bears during my time in Montana last month. I had 4 days in Glacier Park. No bears at all.
No bears. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's the same with this. Like you can imagine, okay, right. How do I say this? So just on the other side of that little pier there, I was sitting waiting for Anand to come back from the ferry from Vancouver Island. And there was a whale, a humpback whale. Like I have a video on my YouTube. You can hear it and like blowing and really, I've been living here since 2015, and we rarely see whales or orca, right? So I just straight ahead, way over there on that other island over there. It's called Texada Island. A couple of years ago, we saw the orca, but people going to and from like Alaska, they get to see all these whales. I'll bet you people that go on a cruise seen whales more than I have, but we still get them here.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to do someday, Larry, is one of those whale watching tours where you go out there and you just sit there and watch the whales go by, because that's one thing I've never seen in person.
Well, you know what would be easier for you, Nick, is go to Seattle. Yeah. They have a ferry that goes to Victoria, which has the whale watching tours, very popular whale watching tours. The ferry goes right down Victoria, and they'll take you out. And what is it called? It's called, I'm trying to remember the name of the American town that's on the other side. I can't remember it.
Blaine, Washington.
Port Angeles. That's what it is.
Port Angeles.
Yeah. So crossed over right into Victoria, check out the whale things, and going back, or do an Alaskan cruise. They're on sale right now.
Well, I know, right? I wish. I gotta save all my time, Larry. I gotta save for moving to Texas. Like today is
no. I totally understand.
Today now is technically a federal holiday here in America, Juneteenth. So it was yesterday actually. So they observe it today, and then I go back to work tomorrow. So I was able to take for my federal holidays, except 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. The minor ones, I can take that 8 hours, and I can put, if I work it, I can put it in my time off. So I push that holiday pay to regular time off. So now I got 6 days on my leave again. Because if I line it up, I can get 11 or 12 days in between Minnesota and Texas with the way my calendar works.
Wow. Now, like, have you been to the town where you want to work and everything?
Yeah, I want to be like in Arlington or around Dallas somewhere in one of the bigger cities. So I want to be in the Dallas Metroplex. So I got family, friends down there, and I just need something new. I'm bored here. Plus, it doesn't hurt either to say goodbye to the snow.
I never complain. Hey, look at this. Over on Vancouver Island, there's still snow on top of the mountains. If I want to see snow, Nick, I just take a ferry across. There's my snow. See you later.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and that's like heck. About a week ago, they had a big snowstorm out in Montana where I was last month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you that was a massive snowstorm.
Oh yeah, that's like thank God I'm not there. Thank God I already went through.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Then I had friends on that trip I met that took the train from St. Paul to the same place I did for the same 4 nights, and then they spent 2 weeks out in Oregon and Washington, and then they took the train back to St. Paul. Then they went to Yellowstone, and they left about 3 days before everything went to heck there in Yellowstone with all the flooding.
Yeah, that is so sad. I actually want to mention that because last year, was it last year? I think it was last year. We had the floods in Vancouver, and it was nasty. Nasty, like down in Yellowstone right now. Now it's down in Yellowstone right now. It's so sad, all that kind of stuff happening, man.
Yeah, that's like people think that Yellowstone might open soon. It's like I'm guessing they're out for at least the rest of the year. At least the rest of the year.
Here's the thing. Every major route, actually almost every route in and out of Vancouver was washed out. We couldn't leave. And we were thinking we were going to be stuck here for a long time. A lot of the stuff was hard getting supplies in for, about a month. There was some really tough times and stuff. But then we thought, okay, these routes are going to get really long to pass through. And luckily for Christmas, they had just opened one of the highways that was the best route for me to get to my mother-in-law's in the interior of British Columbia. But we were thinking, same thing. We're going to take forever, but they got these routes done really quick.
Yeah. I'd hope so, Larry, but it's like with the amount of video you see of the damage there, I keep expectations low.
No, totally. It still is, and I don't know the whole infrastructure of how that all is. And I was thinking the same thing here, but there was some luck where they managed to get one route so that they can get all the goods and stuff going through, and that was it. That's essential travel only, as they were saying. Yeah. And then they managed to slowly open up to other traffic on that one, but everything else was closed. Yeah. So then we're thinking, oh gosh, we're going to be here months and months waiting to get out of, Vancouver. And this was right when they were allowing travel to get back into, everybody was itching to travel. And so, they finally opened it up. And then just at Christmas, we were able to go up to see my mother-in-law for Christmas, luckily. And that was an adventure in itself. But,
well, what's definitely on my bucket list in your country, Larry, is the Canadian. Is going from Vancouver through
to Toronto. No, Halifax.
To
Halifax,
Toronto.
Well, it goes. The Canadian goes to. I think it
ends in Toronto, but you'd have to change for going further east.
Yeah, and then it goes from Toronto to Montreal down to Halifax. Because I've done the Toronto to New Brunswick. That's the only time I've ever been on a train. That was an overnight thing. Back then I was doing a lot of Greyhound travel, and I loved.
Greyhound. I was gonna say Greyhound. You gotta be freaking crazy for that.
No, I loved it because that's the way I traveled when I was younger, like in my early 20s and 18 and stuff like that. I got to, just be free as a young guy, right? It's cheap you know, go across Canada was like $300, right? You know, it was really cheap, right? And so that was how I did a lot of travel. And so, but with the Greyhound, it was like really intimate. You were forced to talk to people.
Yeah, that's like me. That's why I did the train. Heck, Larry, I really hit it off with a gal from overseas. We ended up chatting for like 8 hours, spent a whole day together. I don't know if we'll go anywhere. I got her Snapchat and email, but it's like, yeah, what the hey? She's from the other side of the planet, but what's it hurt? Take a shot. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Well, it's funny, not in that same kind of context, but Eric was in Prague, and one of my Greyhound, I actually think it was my very first Greyhound bus travel. I was by myself, leaving St. John, going to Toronto, and I was sitting in front of these two gentlemen that were from Prague, and I remember thinking, hey, what a weird name for a country. But I also thought, you know what? I'll never see these people ever again. Like, but it was really cool. Like, and then Eric's over in Prague, because you don't really hear of much about Prague.
No,
but it is. But now that I'm into travel
Prague
a lot more, I'm here a lot more.
Yeah, Prague is in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, that's right. Just a sec, I want to show you something right there. This is one of our ferries.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, and that ferry goes over to this island right here, which is called Texada Island. It actually goes straight ahead over there. And then there's another ferry that goes to this same place, and it'll go over to Vancouver Island.
Yeah. But no, Larry, out of all the places for this gal that I met and really hit it off with to be from, she's from Moscow.
Ooh.
I know, right? Poor gal had to fly from New York to Dubai up to Moscow.
Got to be careful with those words with me. I had a Polish girlfriend in Ontario.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's like, really? But no, she turns the same age I am in about a month. So I've been working on
20 what?
Of 30.
Oh, you're 30. Okay.
Yeah. So I've been working on saying happy birthday, beautiful lady in Russian. So I send a Snapchat on the 28th.
There you go. I have no clue how to use that Snapchat. I just gave up on that one.
Yeah.
I do.
It makes it harder because Russia, they still have the state-run media and whatnot. That's why people think that they're all crazy. It's like, no, it's because they're fed a lot of BS.
Well, it's kind of like everywhere we go, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick. The media likes to share stories that they like to share.
No,
to create drama.
That's why I don't watch the news anymore. I'll watch YouTube clips of local stories, but beyond that, I'll get my own idea. But buy local news. I don't need no one's prerogative.
Yeah, it's not state-run news, but they do over dramatize. A lot of their stories, and I'm not going to go there. I don't do politics.
But you get what I'm talking about,
Oh yeah. You know what? Moscow has always been on a bucket list for me.
Oh yeah, me too. I'd like to do the Trans-Siberian Railroad, which runs all the way across
That
Russia.
does not surprise me with you, Nick. You're that train guy. That looks a little too cold and scary for me.
Yeah.
I'll stick to Red Square.
Yeah. Me right now, there's no way in HE double hockey sticks I'd find myself in Russia, but maybe someday, who knows?
Yeah. Well, you can get close to Russia up here in Alaska.
I know, right? That's a cool. Heck, the U.S. bought Alaska from Russia.
Yeah. And back in 1980 something, before you were born, in St. John, where I'm from, St. John, New Brunswick, which is a cruise port on the New England route, there was a ship that ended up in St. John, and it had three big they look like spy satellite dishes. And that's what we were thinking when we were young teens thinking, oh God, the Russian spies are coming here. They're coming to spy on us and everything. Now, the word was on the street is that they were porting in St. John because there was a hurricane or something that they were trying to avoid, and they were there. But, being young, your imagination runs wild. And so I remember getting on this ship and talking to the staff and the workers and stuff, and they ended up giving us like memorabilia and stuff and cigarettes. Back then I smoked, and but I do remember the pin, and it was from Lenin, and so I had a fascination way back then to go to Russia, and also being young, you're naive and stuff, and you never really paid attention to the political stuff. You just, hey,
Yeah.
Russia looks like a cool place to go and all that, and I like their cigarettes, and but I even got into learning their, da, 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 da. I loved it. So Moscow has been on my huge bucket list for a long time, but scary right now to go there. I
no
don't
way in
think.
heck, because even going to an airport going the way she did, she's a Russian citizen, so she's fine. Me to be like, oh, American passport, let's lock this person up.
Yeah, let's have some fun with this guy here.
Yeah.
Same with Canada, same thing. No, not as bad as
I know,
you,
right?
but
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. Oh, it is a seal. See, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, he just ducked his head right underneath. He's camera shy.
Yeah.
There's a seal right here. I wonder if I can catch him. We have a way down here. There's a pulp mill, a paper mill, and there used to be sea lions. I got video on my YouTube channel where they used to hang out down there on the logs. We haven't been there in a while, but it's changed, so they might have gone. But I just love this part about being here. And Anna and I will come and go over by our park, and we'll sit there and have like a coffee and breakfast and just hang out and stuff.
I can tell you're Canadian with your boat.
I get that too. Yeah, the boat. And I say milk. I need a drink of milk. Milk. That's how I say it. Milk. MELK.
Yeah. Oh, it keeps life interesting. People talk that when we talk different.
Well, who is it? Meg. Meg.
Yeah, Meg. Yeah, Meg.
Yeah. I'm waiting to hear her because she's from the South too. I want to hear her accent. I don't think I've ever heard her.
Hers is not very thick. I've heard more thicker ones. That's like the gal I met from Russia. Hers, I would have thought she was American, but then again, she has a half sister that lives in Alabama.
Oh wow. That's where Meg is, isn't it? No, not Alabama. She's in Atlanta. That's what it is.
Yeah, near Atlanta. Which, heck, that's one state over.
Yeah, I want to go there. That's one of my bucket list airports to go. Is ATL.
Yeah, ATL is not the biggest. Denver's the biggest, but ATL is the busiest.
The busiest. That's what it's meaning. It's just all that kind of thing. What was it? I lost it. It was because I like airport codes and stuff, and I was teasing Danny every time.
You're an airport nerd. What's my airport code?
What is your airport? I don't know your airport. So Minneapolis, is it MIN? No. NMP?
MSP.
Close. I was close. See?
Because it's MSP for Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah. Now you would think, certain ones. I don't know them all. I'm
just teasing you, Larry. I'm just checking you.
Yeah. Like Powell Rivers is CPW.
That's weird.
Right. So.
Well, that's like Vancouver. It's probably VAC, right?
No, actually, YVR.
YVR. But then again, that's like Houston is IAH.
Yes, that's where I'm going to be going into is IAH. I had to look that one. I already knew IAH, but I wanted to know which, because there's multiple airports down in those areas, from what I'm understanding. That's where it gets.
Well, that's like when I flew out of Dallas. Dallas
DFW.
Dallas has two airports, DFW and Love Field. And when I was at DFW waiting for my flight, I heard some lady ask, "What terminal does Southwest use here?" It's like, Southwest does not use DFW, sweetheart. You're at the wrong airport.
No, DFW is American.
DFW is everybody but Southwest.
Yeah.
But American runs DFW pretty much.
I'm curious. What are your thoughts on Southwest?
I've tried once, but that flight got canceled because Boston had a snowstorm where I was going. So Southwest canceled all the flights. So I have never flown Southwest.
I need to check out Delta. That is.
I've flown Delta. I've flown another airline that's based out of Minnesota called Sun Country.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, I've flown Alaska.
My favorite.
And I've flown with British Airways, and I've
Ooh,
flown with
BA. Wow.
yep, and I've flown with Virgin Atlantic.
Nice. Where'd you go
Yeah.
with Virgin?
Virgin Atlantic, I flew from London Heathrow to Newark, New Jersey.
Figured that. It's got to
And
be
then with-
somewhere like that.
Yeah, because my longest Delta flight was Minneapolis to London Heathrow, 9.5 hours.
Really? My longest flight was from Cancun to Vancouver nonstop. That was it, 6 hours.
Woo! That's even crazy there. But me, Larry, probably the easiest flight I've ever done is I've done London Heathrow to Dublin. It's about an hour. By the time you're getting up to cruising altitude, it's time to land.
Yeah, it's like what I did from Vancouver to Seattle. It's like a 20-something, 30-minute. Well, it's the same with here, Powell River. The flight from Powell River to Vancouver, I just shared the video. It's a 35-minute flight, but it's a small airport, or like a small airplane. Not like you're in a
Vancouver airport.
Pardon?
Does it land at the big Vancouver airport?
Yeah. So what it is, it leaves Vancouver, or Powell River, flies 35 minutes into South Terminal at Vancouver. Then you get on a bus, which takes you over to the main terminal, and you get on. And then I flew down to Los Angeles that way.
Gotcha.
What was I going to say? UK and stuff. I'm looking at European stuff in 2024. It'll be our 10th year anniversary wedding renewal and stuff. And so I want to make it special. And I've never been over that way. I have
my 17-year-old niece and my sister-in-law are actually in Ireland right now.
Oh, nice.
The whole country, doing exactly what I was supposed to do back in 2020, but we all know what happened with that. And I just haven't had I really have just put it off because I've been focusing.
No, totally.
Yeah.
I'm actually, my background, well, my mother's background, they were Irish, so O'Donnell. Yeah. So I haven't been over there, so I need to get to see Ireland and stuff.
Me, Larry, my mom's maiden name was Murphy, and not many names are more Irish than Murphy.
Ooh, wait a minute, Nick. Wait a minute. You're close to Canada, and my biological father is related to a Murphy.
But then again, Larry, Murphys to the Irish are like Johnsons in America.
Yeah, of
everybody
course.
has it.
Everybody, yeah.
But
no, wouldn't that be funky though?
I know, right? But no, in the southwest part of Ireland in County Cork, I actually found my old family home. They left in 1851.
Oh, wow.
I was supposed to go see it with a historian I found in that town, but of course that got derailed. So now it's just working every freaking hour I can. I've paid off, Larry, about $15,000 in debt this year. I got about another 20.
Good for you.
About another 20 to go, and I hope I'm moving in the fall, but there's no guarantee.
We just did the opposite. We had to put a roof on our home, so
yeah.
So yeah, you paid off the debt, and then I made some debt.
Yeah.
plus my cruises. So you know how those things work.
Fair enough. Me, Larry, it's like I've had fun this year. I have time, but I got to save it for moving. I'm just going to keep working. And then even my chiropractor said once this is done in a couple of weeks, I should still wear this all summer because I never knew it. What I did to my thumb was basically like if you've dislocated or sprained your ankle, it's basically the same thing, but I did it to the thumb.
Well, I actually disintegrated a bone in my ankle. I jumped out of a 2-story building when I was young in 1988. I landed flat foot, disintegrated a bone in my ankle. So I spent 6 months in a cast on that. And I also fractured 3 lower vertebrae in my back, which is why I'm on long-term disability. I have arthritis in my back, arthritis in my knees, in my ankles, in my shoulders.
And Larry, you'll have something in common. You haven't met Darren yet, have you?
Darren?
Yeah.
No.
You will meet him in October for your cruise. He's same way with his Army stuff. His back is all messed up. He's a walking disaster on that. He's a good guy, but you know what I'm saying? He's a walking disaster, and he's got pain everywhere as well.
Yeah. I kind of envy this guy. He's over in Germany because I really like, as much as me and my wife, we love tropical and stuff and doing the cruising stuff right now. But Europe is still on that part too. Like we have such a big and he's going over to Germany. Actually, he's on a plane right now, I think.
Yeah, I think he's flying over. Yeah, right now or very soon because he's got a meetup this weekend in Germany. No, Larry,
Ironically,
Europe is a must someday. Like I have walked the beaches of Normandy. I have been to the Eiffel Tower. I've been to the Anne Frank House. I've been to the Churchill War Rooms in London, where Churchill orchestrated World War II from. Like
I've seen
they
so
made
many movies, and I used to play Call of Duty, so I know a lot about
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. Larry, they made it in the war rooms where he orchestrated World War II from. They
Nice.
made it look like he was going to take a poop when he was making a call to the White House to FDR.
Yeah.
So when he was
Yeah.
actually calling FDR, people thought I'm just saying poop, because I'd say something else, but we're on live. But
No, of
they were
course.
sitting in the bathroom taking a poop before he would, or people thought he was doing that when he was actually on the phone to FDR.
I love you. She's
Love
been
you.
checking out my videos too. Yeah. Truthfully, you're saying Europe. So what it was is, I don't know if you heard of Travel Tour Taste.
Yeah,
They're a UK.
That crazy guy. That he's always loud and whatnot.
Well, he's not loud. He's got ADHD, I think, like me. He's got the hyperactivity part. But beautiful people. They have a group cruise, which is going to be happening in 2024. I think it's 2024. Anyway, what it was is they have a group cruise planned. And so I looked at that, but it was a little out of our price range to be able to do, because it's a 14-day cruise over in Europe. So it's pretty pricey. So the thoughts were, okay, well, I've never been to Europe. And yes, you're right. We got to do the Europe thing. And I said to Ananda, I said, we got to do this Europe thing before I start to really, curl over and really bad pain. And so the thoughts were, okay, let's do a trip over there. And then so because we were talking to Sarah and Glenn, that's their names with Travel Tour Taste. They live in Bournemouth, UK, which is I don't know how you would say it, southeast or southwest or something from London, close to the Southampton cruise port. So the thoughts is because we can get a really good deal from Vancouver to London, or not London, Gatwick, London Gatwick, which is just outside of London. So from Vancouver there,
or would you have to go through Toronto?
Now, ironically, here's the thing with that. That's another side note. It is actually from Vancouver to Toronto, Toronto to London Gatwick. Get this. But it's cheaper for us to fly from Vancouver there than it is for somebody from Toronto. So Rob in Toronto, lives in Toronto, cost him more to go to London Gatwick than it is for me to fly from Vancouver to London Gatwick.
That's
like it's insane. But I don't make the rules. So the thoughts is fly there, then take the train down to Bournemouth and spend a few days with them, and then go back to London and do the London stuff. Everything. I'm not even going to say. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Huh?
Yeah. I've done in London, the London Eye.
All that kind of stuff. Well, not so much. We're not really into that, but the typical, normal, typical
stuff. London Eye is, right?
Oh yeah.
The Ferris wheel.
Yeah, the Ferris wheel. And then but Ananda, my wife, she did the European trip when she was 17. And she likes all the other, like Amsterdam and all that. So the thoughts is when we stay in London, we can just take the train up to Amsterdam, do a little bit of the stuff up there, and I can go have some Heineken beer and make a video for Neil from Travel and Tour. Travel and Tour.
And Larry, another good thing in the Netherlands is a stroopwafel.
Stroopwafel, yes, of course. Then come back down and then go over to Paris. And I want to do the bus. There's a bus thing. It's an 8-hour bus ride from London to Paris. And you go through the channel. So just so I can experience the channel. But it's 20 euros.
I was going to say, the train goes about 100 miles an hour through the channel.
No, totally. I can do that. But this is $20 per person for an 8-hour ride. So take the bus there just to experience that, and then take the train back. So, then I want to go up into Germany. And we haven't really decided where in Germany, depending on how long it is. But that whole trip is very cheap, really, when you start looking at everything.
The biggest
hotels,
expense is getting to Europe.
and it's for me. I can get flights from Vancouver to London Gatwick for $600 Canadian, which is
like $750.
no, totally opposite. So 600. I'm going to say around, let's say $500 or 500 US from Vancouver. Now this is
you're right. That is the other way. 600 Canadian is about 463.
There you go.
That's nuts.
Return.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Per person.
We were
now.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So that's time depending. Like that's a great deal. Now, normal average prices are around between 700 and 800 average. Right, but that 600 is a deal. Like they started out that route at $600 return to London Gatwick. Now, that's not no BA, and you're not flying first class.
No, you gotta Flintstone the plane off the ground.
No, you gotta blow the propeller to make it work.
No, the biggest disappointment, Larry, for me is when I was supposed to go to Ireland in 2020. We were about 6 months into having our own direct flight from Dublin to Minneapolis, and that has been indefinitely suspended, and they still haven't brought it back yet. The local airport commission here that got them to come to Minneapolis is trying to get Aer Lingus to come back here, but there's no guarantee.
Aer Lingus. I didn't even know Aer Lingus flew to America. Wow.
Yeah, they do. Aer Lingus is owned by the same company that owns British Airways.
Yes, but I didn't know it actually. I thought Aer Lingus was like a European carrier.
Well, they come to the U.S. Like their big flights in the U.S. are New York, Boston, Chicago.
Yeah, the bigger,
Yeah, the bigger ones, and then they do like seasonal to like
trying
Dallas.
To get the sun properly here. I can see you better. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Let's see if I can get this to. Oh, there we go.
But no, I did see your thing, Larry, that you guys basically pay $7.20 a gallon up there.
So right now, yes, it is $2.29.9 a liter, which times that by 4 is 7 something a gallon. But then you have to make the exchange rate, which works it down to actually 229 times 4. Can you? I'll lose your feed if I do it on my calculator.
I got you. That's why I got my laptop.
229.9 times 4.
9.196.
Yes, and then you have to figure out the exchange rate, which is 7 something. It brings it down to 7 something a gallon.
Well, it's 709 USD.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
So
that's California prices there.
Yeah, I just put 30 in my gas tank, and it didn't even give me a quarter.
That's crazy.
And actually, that's how I pay for gas. I'm not the people that they'll fill up their tanks. I don't do that, especially with the high gas prices like this. No way, because it changes, and I don't want to spend what is it what $100 and something to fill this. Okay, I can chat now. LOL. I hope your friends at US and at US and More are good. We missed them this weekend. Yeah. Well, I can chat now. LOL. I hope our friends at US. I keep saying US. Us and More are good. We missed them this weekend. Yes. Hi, Blaine. How's it going? See, he can come up here and do his accent too.
Yeah, he's got a weird Southern accent.
He got that Southern accent.
Yeah, people in the South talk like they're weird, especially people from Alabama.
Oh no, he's not. Well, he's from Alabama, isn't he? But he's
from Alabama, but he's in South Carolina.
South Carolina, and who's in North Carolina? Is it Ronnie and Alma? They live in North.
Yeah, life is good today. They're up in North Carolina.
North
and another
Kakalaki.
Yeah, who? North Kakalaki. Another YouTube channel that's up there is a guy by the name of Mike Lovelace. His Lovey's Fat.
Oh, Mikey. Yeah, I know Mike. Oh, I really want to go visit Mike. He's on a cruise today. He just went on a
Yeah,
cruise.
he's on a cruise with Life is Good Today, and I
Yeah.
think MGM Family Travels on that one.
It must be like a southern thing. All the Kakalaki people are going, what's this? Well, those people in Minnesota look at me funny when we were there like 10 days.
Yeah. Don't worry. We're weird people too. Just like Larry will say, Canadians are also weird.
Oh yeah. Hey, you should hear the Newfies. Oh my bye. You know. And speaking of drinking,
Yeah.
they can drink. What was I gonna say? My kids, they're starting to get the southern accent.
Yeah, because you got a kid in New Mexico, right?
They both live in New Mexico, and now I got grandkids, and now they're gonna start having this southern accent because they're not far from Texas. Actually, my oldest, they just bought a house which is 4 hours from the Mexican border, which I think it's how would I say that? So it would be west of Texas, southwest of Texas, or northwest of Texas, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now they're going to get the accent even more. But I can't wait to.
I don't think of New Mexico people of having an accent.
Oh, they can.
Yeah, but
the hillbilly accent.
The one that's prominent here is like the South, like where Blaine's from. They got a big one.
Yeah. Yes.
Texas, of course, they got a big one, y'all.
And well, then, this is where the accent that I'm talking about, because my oldest granddaughter's dad, he's from outside of Houston, and New Caney, I think it's called. That's where they all got it from, y'all. I couldn't stop laughing when I went to visit him in 2011, but that was back then, you know. But now I hear Blaine all the time. I'm starting to get used to this y'all stuff.
Y'all
from Alabama.
Yeah,
it's all good. We love you, Blaine.
Yeah, all you have to tell Blaine is roll tide, and he'll be good.
Roll tide.
Yeah.
Oh.
They roll everything. But no, you can see behind me, Larry, if you see it here, this is the model ship of the Mayflower.
The Mayflower. Okay. Yeah, isn't that the one that's in Boston? No,
the one in Boston is the Constitution. This is a model. Oh, it's a little dusty. I gotta dust it. But I got this in Plymouth, England, right next to the steps where the Pilgrims took off from it there. Because my ancestors part of my family came to America on the Mayflower.
Nice.
And then this other box here is, let's see if I can get it. I bought this at London Heathrow on my way out. You know, it's got the little mailbox.
Oh, the double-decker, yeah.
The double-decker, and the black taxi, and the telephone booth.
There's actually one of those double-deckers just exactly like that here in town. Somebody has it as like a big yard ornament in his backyard.
Yeah. No, I miss Europe.
Gotta go back over there. I am really working it. I think it's 2024 that we're doing, because if we don't do Europe in 2024, we were looking at a group cruise for our wedding, which would be cheaper.
And something too, Larry, to consider, since it'll be your first time in Europe. My first time in Europe, I went to the beaches of Normandy. If you can swing it.
Well, if you go there, you got to do all that kind of stuff. If I'm going to be by the water, like, you know, the channel and stuff, got to do all that.
Yeah, because I did a day and a half out in Bayeux, France, which was about a 3-hour train ride from Paris. Yeah. And it was better staying out in Bayeux. I ended up staying at an Airbnb. It was like a private room in this old couple's home, and they had the rooms on the Mayflower. Oh God, he's saying you're over 400 years old.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay, there, little Sonny.
Yeah, but no,
still wet behind the ears, Blaine. That's right.
In Bayeux, France. You're good. I stayed in a little separate room in a lady's house. She was probably about 50-ish. Old French lady, spoke zero English. Mm-hmm. Her husband and son spoke pretty good English. I asked if I could do laundry.
Mon français un petit peu.
Yeah. I asked if I could do laundry at her place. She's like, no, don't worry about it. I'll do it. She folded all my stuff nice and clean for me. What's nice too is Google Translate is so perfect when you go to another country. If you don't speak their language, it's not perfect. Like it's not going to get 100% of it across, but that way you can get most of it.
See, in Quebec, which is close to you, they're pretty rough on you if you can't speak French.
Oh yeah. Quebec's actually closer to New York, but I get what you're saying. I'm closer to Quebec than you are to Quebec.
Yeah. Well, so my very first experience in a big city was in Montreal.
Yeah.
And it blew me away. I was walking down the street and I was trying to find the subway and I seen this Chinese guy. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he can speak English, right? You know, you never think at 18 years old a Chinese guy is going to speak French. But I walked over to and the guy spoke French to me. It's like I was stunned. A Chinese French guy is like,
I know, right?
Like what? Like, am I okay? And you know, back then I used to do drugs and something. Oh my God! Like, am I tripping? Am I on acid or something here? A Chinese guy speak French, so yeah, I experienced Quebec first, and I was also experiencing Quebec City at the same time, and that's where I found that they were pretty rough on me because I couldn't speak French.
Yeah, I know. I definitely.
And ironically, the province where I come from, New Brunswick, is a bilingual province. And that's why, bonjour, comment ça va, monsieur? Le gros café, deux crèmes de sucre, s'il vous plaît. Right? You know, I can say a couple words, but
Larry,
if you could not...
were your kids born in Canada?
Yeah, they were born in they were both born in St. John.
Okay,
Let's say it that way.
Are they going to get your grandkids to have dual citizenship with Canadian?
They're automatic. Well, right now they've been down there since 2006, Nick, and they're still not green carded yet. So they're what they call the legal. I guess it's called legal dreamers.
Yeah.
Because they went down as young kids. My ex-wife left me, went down there, got remarried, but never followed through with the actual full process. And they're still working on it. And now because they're adults, it's become much more difficult. Now, my youngest, she's almost pretty much finished with hers. But what happened is my oldest didn't finish school. She had three credits left to finish school, but she quit because she had kids. And so that made it harder for her to go through that whole process again. My youngest, she qualifies for DACA, I guess. Whatever that's called or whatever. But I guess they are legal DACA, not illegal DACA recipients. Like, I don't know how that works, but it's sad. Anyway, they're trying to work it so that they can get their citizenship. But the kids, obviously, they're automatically American. But once they get everything settled, they're going to try to do the dual citizenship.
They should.
Citizenship part,
Yeah, that's like I was talking with Rafi's daughter, Ashley, when she was up here with her mother. It was like they need to do it since Rafi was born in Spain. It's like you definitely need to get the American and Spanish passport.
Yep. It'll help too.
But no, I will say, Larry, take a look at Rafi's live tomorrow. You'll see what Minnesota stuff I sent down with
I certainly will. I was just talking to Raphael. We had some good conversations on thing. See, the thing with me, a lot of the YouTubers, they use what's it called? That chat. There's a
what's that?
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo. Yeah.
So a lot of people were using that, and everybody gets to know everybody in there. I used to, but I stopped it, and now I feel kind of, out in left field because they're all getting chummy together, and I'm just like, okay, who's this Larry guy kind of deal, right? That's where I met Raphael and all that. So now what it is we just do it through Messenger. I was just going to say something to that effect. I got to get going here. My battery's going to go. Oh, my kids. My youngest, she wants to move to Oregon. I want her to move to Washington State.
Oregon be a step closer.
Well, I know, and that's the thing. Because I said, hey, Taylor, you can move to Bellingham, which is right across from Vancouver. It's like, traffic pending. I can get to Bellingham within an hour. Like from Vancouver, downtown Vancouver to Bellingham, I can get there in about an hour. And So I want her to move there. So it's just easier for me to go down to visit her. But I told her, I said, you know what? This is your life. You and your fiance. This is what you want to do. I'll accept Oregon because I've never been to Oregon yet. So, and that's a beautiful place. So
It is. It is. The ocean is beautiful,
oh,
Larry. If they
well,
make it there, you got to go down the Pacific. It's similar to that, but
yeah,
the
yeah.
Oregon coast is one in its own. It's one of the most beautiful places
Yep.
I've ever
No,
been.
totally. And I got to go see the little people that live in Portland.
Yeah, hey, don't worry. In Portland, I was just there. You just walk 2 blocks down the street, you'll find a random homeless guy. I had a homeless guy there tell me, "Hey, dude, we went to high school together. How you been?" I just kept
Well,
walking.
Nick, I actually used to work in a homeless shelter. I was homeless myself before.
Yeah.
I worked with homeless, so I know that. I know exactly. Yeah, man, we're friends, Nick. Don't you remember when we were like 3 years old? We used to hang out, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
No. I totally know Portland for all that kind of stuff. I'm so used to that. I understand the streets. I understand street smarts. And I know how that whole works. Now, obviously, if I'm going to go to, let's just say, Los Angeles, I'm not going to go into Compton and walk around, like with gold jewelry and my camera sticking out.
You can't say, Larry, that you went straight out of Compton.
Yeah. I'd be gone straight out of Compton and everything else with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pretty much know the streets and stuff, and so I'm not too worried about it. Now, of course, you need to play. That's why it's called street smarts,
Oh yeah.
Don't do Marco Polos either. It's hard enough to keep up as it is. I don't need another thing to do. Yeah. Blaine, actually, I wanted to ask, did you ever use Marco Polo, Nick?
I've never
and
seen
you,
Blaine
Blaine?
on it. Maybe he did before I did, but I don't think he ever has been, as far as I know.
I started out using Marco Polo, which Marco Polo was cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I protested because they manipulated all of us into using it for free, and then they made that one major change that just ruined it, where you couldn't skip through.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm not going to support this app. I'm not. Right. Yeah. But everybody else stuck to it, and everybody started getting friends with it. Channels started growing, which is fine. I'm not jealous or any of that stuff. But that's how you create those communities, getting into the places like Marco Polo and talking to people, and then that's just another tool. I'm not saying that's the only way, right? Yeah. But anyway, Nick, I actually got to get going. Because they can take up lots of time, and I have ADHD. Blaine has ADHD as well. Yeah. ADHD. That's awesome. Actually, just one last thing. This Marco Polo. Here's the thing. This is the last thing that stopped me from using Marco Polo. I was in a conversation with someone, and I just come in, and I'm a very since I've worked with homeless, and I'm very passionate with how I worked with the homeless, and especially abused women and stuff. Well, this topic I came into, they were talking something along the lines of women being abused, and it was 2 women that came in on the conversation. But I came in at the wrong time, and so I couldn't change it so I could see what the conversation was. And so I came in, and I'm hearing one context, but I'm finding out later that it was a different context. And so what I heard is us people in Australia, they F their sheep.
Yeah.
So when I heard that in that kind of conversation, I was thrown off. I froze. I mentally could not understand what that meant, because I came in the middle of a conversation that I didn't get the full context, and I froze, and I ended up hanging up, and I deleted everything. It's like, what the frig? But then I found out later the context of it, and I never clued in to what effing the pigs or the sheep meant. But that person was referring to sheep as people.
Yeah.
The sheeples. I never caught that right away. But coming in the middle of that context, it threw me right off. And that's one of the things with ADHD. There's a lot of difficulties with social interactions. If you don't catch the right nuances and all those kinds of things, it's hard for us to socialize, right? You know what I mean? That's why I get a little. Actually, that's why I haven't been on my YouTube for a while yet, as well, Nick, is because I've been struggling with some stuff too. But I'm like you said too. Got to take your time, push through it. Because like I was ready to quit YouTube, seriously.
Yeah.
But that's been multiple times. But that's also my own mental health dealing with it. But yeah, I just wanted to say with this Marco Polo, that's why I wasn't on there, because I couldn't change the conversation and get the full context. And here I am coming in, and I'm kind of hearing, okay, they're talking about abused women, so my heart's right in the spot for, taking care of these women and trying to support their conversation with, women getting beat up and stuff. And here's this one person who I just met, right? Just knew. And she's saying, yeah, us here in Australia, we F our sheep. Like, can you understand what I mean by that? It's just like, oh my God. Like I froze. Yeah. Anyway, Nick, it's been awesome hanging out with you, brother.
Absolutely. Talk to you, Larry.
I wish you all the best. I wish you a speedy recovery with your hand, get your hand all so you can go back to work. And I can't wait to see you in Texas. And we'll see you around, brother.
Sounds good. Talk to you later, Larry.
Take her easy. Blaine, everybody else, take her easy, everyone. My battery's almost dead. I'm not really paying attention well, and I've been going an hour and 32 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for coming in on my second try. Good night, everyone.